Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna have a tutorial for new players. I haven't prepared this, so this is just gonna be top of my head, things you might want to learn before starting to play Steel Division 2 multiplayer. So by now, I imagine you can beat the AI. If not, go back to single player, play the AI at hard difficulty, and once you can beat the AI without pausing, then come back to this video and to the multiplayer scene. So first thing you want to do is you want to go on Steel Division 2 Discord in the boot camp, and I'm going to give you a link to that. And then from now on, in there you can ask questions, you can look for games, you can answer people if you have. This is where you get good players like AS answering you or you. And if you see you is a bad player, do not believe that. You is a very good player, but it'll make you think he's a bad player. and so yeah, this is the place for newer players to go. Steel Division 2 Bootcamp. Check the link in the description. So now we're gonna start the game. All right. So I'm not sure if the music is too loud. Yeah, just a little background music. So what you want to do then is go to battle groups, and we're gonna explore how to build your battle group. So go in division, and oh boy, you've got a lot of choice here. Let's cut this music here for a second. You've got a lot of choices here, especially if you got all the DLC. But what you want to do is take a not the most strongest division, not the weakest. I'd say go for a middle, all around good for everything. And so I guess with the Germans, maybe we could take Panzer Layer. That would be a good one to showcase. Where is it? Right here. So the Panzerlia is an excellent all-round division, mobile and powerful thanks to mechanized infantry and heavy armor. You want to read the description of these, right? Because they tell you what the division is for. And usually you can just keep to the last two sentences. So see, the 16th Panzer is an upgun armored division, well suited for its role as an offensive sledgehammer. So what does that tell you as a new player? Do not pick that because you're not going to be able to give a good offensive against more experienced players. You'll take the wrong stuff. You'll take King Tigers and they'll get destroyed in seconds. Just don't for the moment being. And say you want to take the fifth Panzer. It's a heavyweight champion with a knockout punch, but terribly short-sighted. So what does that tell you as a new player? Do not take this. And those are just advice. Of course, you do what you want. Let's say Panzerwaben is a battle group geared up for attack, and if put on defensive, might not fare as well. So maybe you don't want that because new players tend to be more defensive, right? 12 SS, ranks supreme on the attack but lacks defensive capabilities. Do not take that. Let's go see here. What's a good division for the Soviet? The Soviet, I think any new player could take pretty much any one of it. The Second Guard Corps, considered the Soviet sledgehammer and supremely powerful in tanks and artillery. Well, you might want to take that. The 19th Tank Corps is an armored battle group that feels most at ease in defensive situations. This could lead you to believe you could take it, but I wouldn't suggest it. It kind of sucked for me. The 29th Tank Corps, there's the VIP, has a structural weakness in AA defense that you can bypass, by the way, but feels strong anti-tank force, recon troops, and ground support planes, making it a versatile division on the battlefield. I like that. That's a good thing. You can choose that. And let's go check, for example, his anti-air. So yeah, he's got Dushkas, Maxim 4M, and 37 millimeters. So you're gonna want to take these guys. These are okay at suppressing. They're cheap. Take them in phase C when you got nothing else. But ideally, you'd want to go for this one here. And since you know they're weak on the anti-hair, you'll want to take lots of them. There you go. Bam. Like this. Or maybe upvet the last tree in phase C. So these are going to be extra powerful. You can see the change here. It says +3. So see, +2 and 0. So this is what it does. But it does more than that. There's a hidden mechanic with that. It gives them more suppress resistance. It gives them more health, maybe. Anyway, it gives them a bunch of bonuses. So you often want to take up-vetted stuff. Um, but up-vetted stuff usually take them in phase A or B. This is where they're most useful. But in terms of anti-aircraft, this is good. This is not bad at all. So this is how you can bypass the structural weakness AA of the 29 Tank Corps. Okay, so we're gonna take the Panzerlia, and wow, look at that. They have lots of stuff, lots of availability, and decent decent stuff. Okay, so you got your activation points here, 50. These are the points here. You probably know that already. So 1, 2, 3 points out of 50. Okay, you've got your deployment type here, the balance, Vanguard, Maverick, Juggernaut, Flatline, V for victory. But the most important one you want right now is balance, Maverick, Vanguard. You can try V for victory if you want. Build your deck accordingly. So you'll want to build your deck according to the numbers here. So 135 points is what you're going to get each minute during phase A. 90 points is what you'll get in phase B each minute. And 160 points again each minute you'll get in phase C. So I've actually you don't see people playing with that in 1v1. So as a new player, probably never mind. But for experienced players who might be watching that for X reason, try it out. I've built 21st Panzer Division with that, and I saw relative success with it. And you just gotta build your force around that little hiccup here. Anyway, so as a new player, we're gonna take balance. That's gonna be good for you. Write your name, and you're gonna be building a lot of decks. So be creative a little. Write so you remember. What I do is I write a letter first, A, and then whatever name. And why is that? Is because once you got tons of decks, you'll want to sort them out. So when you go to your deck, you do alphabetically, and then all your best deck will be named A. So you got all the A first, and then B, C, D, and whatever, right? So anyway, you can filter by face here once you got troops on to see exactly what you got available, and I'll show that to you soon. So in the Recon for Panzer Layer, what you usually want is fast armored vehicle as Recon. This is what people do. You'll meet those on the field, and you need a counter to it, which often is your own armored vehicle. So say you want Pumas, they got 2 cards. It's a good idea to upvet them and take 2 cards. So 2, 2, or maybe 2, 4, one in B phase. But in B phase, they're not useless, but there's more stuff that can destroy them. So take them in A phase for this time being. And then this is okay. This is good for anti-infantry. You see, got 20 millimeter AP HE shell. This is an autocannon. You don't use that to kill tanks, okay? And you use that to go fast somewhere, give support to your infantry, or maybe even destroy advancing infantry. So you can take 3 of them, and then you want some basic recon. I personally always take the Aufklärer in phase B. So that's 8 recon. Recon is important in the field. It'll help you discover enemies that are hidden. Often I see new players advancing their tanks alone without infantry or anything. That's just bad. And they don't have recon, so I can shoot at them without them seeing me. Get it? So take recon, whatever form is that. Do not take these. You're not experienced enough to take this one. And to be honest, even the experienced people do not take these. They're okay for memes, like you take 6 of them and then you rush them down the road. It can be okay, but it's just a waste of point. That's 6 points thrown in the garbage. These are good as well. You can replace these by these, or just you can have 2 Pumas and 1 of these, which makes for a good versatile deck. You can add these in base fee in phase B as well, and they're good. They're good support, infantry support. Okay, so infantry. What do you want? You want lots of them. Well, I do anyway. Some people would say the contrary, but I find that having lots of infantry is a good way to keep the fight going. Sometimes people run out of infantry, and then what are you gonna do, right? So they have 2 Panzer Grenadier. These are your line infantry in this deck, and they're the regular ones. They don't have anything special to it. Um, so what you want to do if you got only 2 of them, if you got 3 of them, take one in phase A, B, and C unvetted. This will give you enough meat for the battle. But if you got 2 of them, then take one in phase A, one in phase B. I mean, in phase C, and then phase B you can kind of buffer that up with your regular troops here. And 24 is plenty, let me tell you that. And here in 18, just because I personally like to have a lot of infantry. And then you can take the only hiccup here is that you don't have fast moving infantry in phase B. That could be a problem, but this deck doesn't really have a lot of transport. Maybe this could be better. You go to the display transport tab and you can compare one truck with the other. Just click on the truck you want here and then hover your mouse over the other one below. And the SDKFZ10 got 45 speed off-road and 65 road speed. The other one's got 35, 55. So the SDKFZ10 will be the faster choice here. So I guess that's what we'll take, at least for one troop. Yeah, there you go. Okay, and we have also half-track infantry. You choose selection of vehicle here. And this is good for to support your troops indeed. Then you'll want some specialized infantry in your deck. Regular infantry is fine. AT infantry is fine. Specialized infantry is king. So if you don't use veterancy, which I don't personally suggest you do as a new player, um, if you don't take specialized infantry up vetted, you'll have a hard time playing that. So here we'll take the Pioneer, and we'll take the Stone Pioneer as well. So we got specialized infantry. This is go in the forest. The Pioneer, they have HE grenades. They're very good at that. And the Pioneer here got flamethrowers, smoke. This is good to advance with the MP40. So these are your forest taking troops that you'll advance with your regular troops. All right. So this is your infantry tab. Tanks. Yeah, you want tanks, but not that much. So at first you're gonna take light tanks. You need those, okay? They're cheap. They can destroy half tracks. They're good overall. So take them. And these one you can take double vet in this situation here. So I'll take double vet, and I'll take a leader just to triple vet them. You'll want a so you got your light tanks here. You want medium tanks as well, and maybe a heavy tank. Hmm. But it could always be good, just in case. Then you'll want lots of medium tanks in your deck. You can upvet them to 2-star, and you got 10 veteran Panzer 4. It's great. Phase C, you can have 15 of them. And then you'll want maybe one card of Panther D in C phase. So one card of heavy tank for B phase, I mean. And then maybe one card for late game. You never know what you're gonna meet, but usually the bulk of your troops on the ground should be your medium tanks. Okay, use these sparingly. Use these for exceptional situation. Panther D's, don't advance them in town. Don't advance them anywhere. Panther D's, just any Panther, you want them in the open field, right? What you want in town is your Panzer threes, your Panzer four, maybe. Ideally you wouldn't, but sometimes situation calls for it. What you want in town is the Recon armored vehicle. Okay, so then we're gonna go to support. Flamers can be good if you got a lot of forest area, or if you want to rush town, you can take flamers and use them in phase A. In phase B, they're pretty useless, I'd say. IG-18, we used to see those a lot before, not so much anymore, but they're still great. They can cover roads, forest edge, put them far away. They got 1500-meter range. Use that because their shells are not losing anything at distance, and their heat round for anti-tank are not losing anything at distance either. So maximum range with these, hidden if possible, covered by anti-aircraft because the planes are gonna come on this. MG42, you want lots of that. There you go. There you go. That's enough. You can even take these vetted. I like to take 2 rows of machine gun in my decks, and then these are gonna form my front line, and then I can use the little infantry I have. Whoa, I don't have a lot of infantry in phase A. Try to get more phase A infantry if you can. Um, we'll just leave it at that for now. But yeah, so these are usually my frontline infantry, so I can actually afford to have just one card of infantry in phase A, because these are gonna do the work. In phase A, the enemy is not always pushing excessively hard, so that could be doing the trick. These are useless. Don't take them. You don't even have disheartened troops, but these. You see the little sign here, the little gun. This is a military political police detachment. So for the German, it's a military detachment, ensuring every soldier is doing his duty. So you see the description: friendly units within range of the squad won't surrender. I guess it could be useful just for regular infantry, but I think it's a waste of point. Flamers are good. You see here the icon flamer, and then you read the description. An incendiary weapon can engage an armored unit, but with much less effect. Its range is very limited. This is very good for early push. You want them with a motorcycle always. Use these to conquer flags right off the start. Okay, and they'll hold the line while your MG42 gets there, and the MG teams are pretty fast as well. Take them with fast trucks. You'll always want supply at least one card in phase B. So that's it for them. They don't have a lot of support units, but they have very good. Whoever you choose should be good, except don't choose that. Not take that. Okay, anti-tank. You'll want Panzer Shrek. You'll want Pack 40 in phase A. Oh, there's only one. Oh wow, 50 points already. Wow. Okay. So this is when you're now you have to make a choice. So we'll remove this. We'll actually just keep 2 Pumas here. I personally don't need Panther A and Phase C. I'm gonna do with these 6 sets with enough 9 Panther is plenty in one game. So now we've recuperated some points. Got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so we can. Anti-air is very important. Do not take the flak 20 millimeter. They can be okay. They're cheap. That's true. Usually they come in with another flak as a transport, and then you can upvet them. So now you got in phase B, you got 6 upvetted flak gun. This could be good, but um, if your choices are limited, I'd say go with the Gepard in phase B. You could go with actually, yeah, go with that in phase A. Phase C, you want the Whirlwind, and this should be good for your AA. It's not the best AA around there is. You could take this. This get destroyed easily by mortar unit artillery, but it could be a good choice. You got 4 of them. You just leave them back behind the front line, and they should be a good job at repelling aircraft. Artillery, you want to start the day with shit. That's the only. You want to start the day with mortar. Good for suppressing the initial fight. Gives you an edge. They also got smoke, so that's always good. Phase B, you want the SDK Z2 51 81 millimeter. That's very important. Trust me on that. Never mind all the rest. Oh wow, didn't know they had this one. Anyway, never mind the Nibel Warfare. Never mind the Vespe. Never mind the ground artillery guns. In 1v1, you want mobile mortar. That's what you want. You take 4 of them. You bring them together. You upvet them if you can. With a not by that mean, just by having an officer and a commander, and this will destroy everything. You are faced with a king tiger coming your way. He's in open field. He's not moving. You take 4 of these that you buy over time throughout your game. You save them, and you're gonna click on the king tiger. With these, you're gonna target it, and then you're gonna press. Sorry, you're gonna press return fire. So all of these are going to prepare their shot, and then once they're all prepared, you click on return fire, so that'll make them fire again, and they'll all shoot at the same time, and you'll do a lot of damage that way. So you want that. That's the only artillery you need. This is only to cover you in phase A. Air. We don't have enough for air choices. We have to make choices again. So you know what? We'll forego the 4 points for the flamer. Oh yeah, that's the thing with this deck. The support weapon costs a lot of money. So we'll forego one team of MG42 and the flamers, and we'll just keep these two. One in phase A, one in phase B. Should be enough. Airplanes. So you want a fighter airplane in phase A. You want a fighter airplane in phase B. Okay? That's my team. And you always want to have fighter planes because you never know when the enemy's gonna spam you to death with airplanes, and this is when you want to have a good solution to it. Okay, and then you're not gonna take the rockets. Do not take these. You're gonna take the bombs, and you're gonna take them in phase B or C. But B is probably sorry guys, it's pretty early here. B is a good idea. So you got 2 planes that are gonna destroy AT tanks. I mean, AT guns, HE guns as well. All the little fragile stuff the enemies got around. This is your go-to, and it's gonna be covered by these. And because you don't have a lot of anti-aircraft stuff in here, you want to have fighter planes. So there you go. So that's how you build your deck. Now you can see by pressing these, filter by phase. Phase A, what are you gonna have in phase A? You're gonna have 2 Pumas, 9 Panzer Grenadier, 5 MG42. So see, that's not a lot. That's really low infantry. Since I had to remove the MG, we're gonna take out one of the B phase infantry, and we're gonna put it in A phase. Wow, that's all I got here. crazy. Well, we're gonna have to use this truck. So, oh, okay, it's because I took the Panzer Grenadier in C phase, they took the Opel Blitz. They all took it, but that's fine, because you get quick reinforcement in phase C, and you get your slow reinforcement here that can take time to approach. You always want to have quick reinforcement. Nothing more frustrating than having the enemy capture your flag that you could easily capture, but then the only infantry you have is half tracks infantry, and they're taking 55 km per hour to go there. Or if the road is blocked, they'll take 35. These guys are going to take 80 km an hour to take, or 40 in the off road, which is still better than 55. Oh, sorry, 35. Okay. Okay, so this is how you build your deck. This is how you can visualize what you have for each phase. All right, so I'm not going to take this. This is how you build a deck. You can see example here. I'm going to give you some of my decks. This was pre-patch Burning Baltic, but that was the 29th Tank Corps. That was my favorite division. That was my strongest division. You can see here I have AT Recon in Phase A. I got my regular Recon in Phase B, but this deck comes with nice vehicles. So always check what kind of vehicle you can bring, because there's Recon often have a lot of options. And these are good to just go into town and destroy infantry, and just generally pose a problem to infantry. And here in phase B, I got more AT Recon. These are always good. Infantry here, I have a lot in phase A. This is a deck that's made for Vanguard. So 140 points in the beginning. You want to have a lot of infantry. You want to have a lot of availability in phase A with that amount of points. And the more the game goes, the less availability you want. Phase C, you only need these two, and this is a stretch to have them upvetted. You could deal with unvetted, but they're also really expensive now. So, with 90 points, you'll have to wait a long time, 2 minutes to get one of these. But anyway, and here in my infantry, I got phase A, regular infantry with AT capabilities. So you never know when there's half tracks coming or whatever. These can deal with that. You got infantry again, the SVT, so those are good infantry because they got a nice weapon. You can see damage 135, these guys 0.9. So this is gonna win against another like that. And I've got half track infantry. That's good. You want to use these to push. And then in phase B, I got regular infantry, and I've got Tenko Descent Nikki. You can take them in phase A. These are good for phase A, but phase B is great too. It gives you a push, an edge, a specialized infantry to go into the forest. And with this half track, they're not going to get destroyed by a small arm fire. And then in C phase, you got just a regular infantry again. These have AT grenades. Strelki are very good infantry. Okay, tanks. All of this is phase A. So you got the T-34-76 to hurry up to the battlefield and to take to support your first wave of infantry coming to the flags. Then you got 44s here, big tanks. I use them if you see the enemy has a lot of armor some way. You take a few of these and you bring them. These are counter, okay? So these go. The 76 goes everywhere on each flag to support your unit, maybe in packs of two. And these are your counter. When you know where the enemy is, where his tanks are, you bring these and you meet him. And this is this is just overkill. But sometimes the enemy has a big tank. He has more powerful tank than you have. Then you bring this if points allowed, and you take very good care of it. You don't want to bring it alone. You want it to have anti-aircraft guns with it, fighters to defend, and AT guns to help him, HE guns to help defend against infantry, along with Recon surrounding it. This is what you want to do with a heavy tank. Phase B, I've got vetted T-34-44. I got more IS-2, and I've phase C, I've got these guys. That's a lot of IS-2 for a new player. I don't really recommend that because you'll just waste your points in there. Maybe take one card is good enough. What I usually say is if you go through 2 IS-2, then the enemy's gonna destroy the rest. So don't even bother. This is just for map domination. Phase A, you got the Flamer squad to get to points early. You got the Maxim MG guns, get to points early. I got these with half tracks. This is to rig them up close and to shoot enemy reinforcement mainly coming in while these are doing their jobs on the side. It's a dangerous maneuver, but it's good for me. It's been good to me. And I got the same thing here with my AT guns. These are made to push through and then unload somewhere and just do their business. So lots of AT guns. This is important. Lots of AA gun. It's important, especially with the 29. Mortar, I got them in phase B, which could be a mistake, but it's the only one I have, so I figured I had lots of them. I got B phase fighters with B phase bombers. So this is just to give you guys an idea of how someone might want to build decks. I'm going to show you a couple more. You can pause and look at them. This is one deck of the 12th SS where I almost defeated one very good player called P. Yuri Tanner, which is why I nicknamed this division the Conquerors of Tanner. Um, they didn't conquer anything, but they came close. So you can look at that deck and take it and maybe use it in your own plays. You can. I've made this deck recently, just this morning. The third US. I rarely play with them. Um, so I tried them. This needs refining, but I won. So this is not a meme deck. Well, I mean the deck is a meme, but I didn't build it to be a meme. Um, yeah, a little bit of recon, some tanks in phase hay. You know, this is mainly to make you go through C phase. Lots of machine gun. V for victory. Panzer. Pause because I'm going pause if you want to look more into it. Yeah. What else? This is my Panzer Layer. Pause it because I'm going away. I think I have another Panzer Layer. No, no. I've got the 116 Panzer veterans. These are my vet. So these are. This is when I want to form a strong vet frontline commander, tank officers, infantry officers, artillery officers. You got the whole thing there. And this would be the unvetted one. Unvetted 116. All right, so now we're just gonna do a game with one of these. Let's do a quick play. Axis. You know what? I'll try the old 29 tank corps. See if it still works. And I imagine you're probably just gonna skip through the waiting period. I would do that if I were you, because I'm not gonna say anything. I actually got a phone call from work earlier, and I gotta check it out. So I'll be right back, guys. You just skip the waiting period to the game. I'll be right back. Well, you know what, guys? Actually, I cannot do a game. I'll do on my next video. I got a meeting for work, so I gotta go, fortunately. So I hope this was useful to you somewhat. Next video, I'm gonna tell you how to. I'm just gonna do a couple of quick gameplays, and that could give you an idea. And I'm gonna try to narrate it for new players. A good idea to watch those video tutorials here as well. So there you go. Have a good one, guys, and Godspeed.